tilt it back down a little bit. I thought this one had where you could adjust it finer instead of just the...
That's the other one that you hated. No, it's not. This will be fine. There you go.
Okay. Hey everybody, we're doing a little practice and arsenal testing for, we got nationals coming up here in about a month. Angel may have to bowl, so she's going to try some stuff out too, but I've already pretty well got set what I have in mind. I'm just going to test out a few other balls and see what they look like, get some different ideas, and just get some practice in too. Stuff I brought with me tonight, that was the Zero Gravity. That's from 2013 something. It's kind of unique. It has it's an asymmetric, but it's got like a 255 RG. It's an 035 diff, and then something like an 013. That's very interesting. But it's really nice and controllable. It's got ERG solid on it, which is a lot like Rotogrip's E-Trax. And I brought the Idle ProMotion, Idle Pro, Fast Pitch, Pitch Black, and then just for a look, brought the Phase G and the Phase 3, just in case. Is audio messed up?
Audio seems fine. Okay.
Yeah, should be okay. So this, I'm pretty sure this is the 2019 team pattern that they put down for us. They're all pretty similar. They're supposed to be, the pattern from all the intel I've heard, it's supposed to be a little softer out there this year, but with the COVID protocols of only having one team on a pair, they're not going to break down as fast, and so that's always been a big part of the Nationals experience, especially in team, is breaking the lanes down correctly. But with only one team per pair, you're not really going to be able to do that. And so I think that they soften the conditions up this year. This is kind of what I was expecting out of the... You go, yeah, don't pay any attention to us. We'll stay out of the way. We got league going on next to us, but so far the zero gravity is what I was expecting. It's strong, but it's smooth. It's almost a little ProMotion like with kind of a phase 2 type arc to it. Got a little boom to it. It's still pretty smooth. So this is going to be in between something like my ProMotion, which is going to be smooth on top of smooth, and something like an Idol Pro or an Idol. The Idol's still going to be pretty smooth, but it's more aggressive. The Pro is going to be a little bit boomier than the zero gravity. Similar cover stocks though. Still getting warmed up here, and I put some hit that with some reactive scuff on the spinner earlier, so got a little bit of junk in the thumb. Yep, volt solid.
Held on to it. Same thing happened. I did a whole
So yeah, this one definitely won't be a down and in ball. It's a tricky thing for most people about the Nationals patterns, especially team. There's a crap load of volume, but it's short, and so modern bowling balls are designed to handle quite a bit more oil volume than people realize. And so when these bowling balls have enough oil to get down the lane, they're going to springboard when they get down there. So even though there's a lot of volume out there, it's 39 feet, something like 28, 29 mils. And so the balls, it's going to make it look like it's dry out there. Which it's really not dry. The ball's hydroplaning for for 39 solid feet, and then when it hits friction, it hasn't burned anything yet. I'm actually gonna take 9 balls with me. We're driving, so you can only take 8 in. But probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 6 into team and then switch out 3 of them and take 6 into doubles and singles. So if you're driving or if you're close or somewhere else where you can take more bowling balls, just because you can only take 8 into the squad room doesn't mean that you can't take more than that with you. And then just alternate. They can be different balls in team. They could be 9 or 8 completely different balls between team and doubles and singles. So I'm probably going to switch a few of them out.
Because I know he doesn't want seen, there's Larry,
Yeah.
the owner.
Yeah. The super nice guy that got all this set up for us.
Wrestling SmackDown.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I don't know about all that.
Sorry for the hittering trying to set this thing back up. So the Idle Pro is definitely not going to be a team ball. I didn't figure it would be, but I wanted to take a look. Well, yeah, and team, not in team this year. Normally it's kind of the strategy for most years to break them down, but I've heard that they're quite a bit softer this year, so just more or less looking for a good look. No, I haven't really found short pin stuff to work out that well. I've just been using covers and cores to kind of duplicate that. I mean, something like my ProMotion acts like a 2-inch pin on some other stuff, so I'm just using covers and cores. I'm really not big into trick layouts since they make the ball a little bit more condition specific. The reactions kind of, it's hard to explain, but I just don't like trick layouts because they're very, very condition, release, all kinds of everything else specific. So and this is going to be quite a bit tougher than it's going to be out there in Vegas. I really don't think this is going to be a team ball either. I'm just taking a look. What I'm planning on for team, and I'm going to take urethane, but I really don't think I'm going to need it with the way that it sounds like. Normally, urethane's a must, especially on the left side, but I just don't think I'm going to need it. Well, no, actually, what you're doing with them by breaking the team pattern down, it's extremely flat. So you're taking the wet dry and you're making it less wet dry, or you're basically trying to turn it into a house shot when you break the lanes down for team. If you don't break them down, most of the time it's just a crapshoot. This year's a different story, but in years past, that's how all the teams have made their money and won titles and everything else is by breaking the lanes down, right?
They're over halfway. No, they're still under halfway. Quarter.
Yeah, we actually did that in a team. Well, I mean, if you're throwing plastic up 15, that is breaking them down. Breaking them down doesn't necessarily mean making them drier. We actually last year everybody ended up using urethane, and it created us a shim, or a couple years ago, I guess. It made us a shim, and then we just couldn't execute. Yeah, that's actually kind of funny when they're, oh yeah, let's just throw it up 5, but they hit everywhere between 3 and 10.
Yeah. That team was stacked. They had a yellow, leading, all
Yeah, I think when most people say break them down, they mean burn a spot and make them drier. It's really just either building a shim like you guys are doing, or building some mist room right. It looks pretty good.
No more?
And I could be surprised when I get down there. Yes, exactly. People don't know what the 3 board actually is, and on the right side, the 5 board kind of feels like the gutter. But yeah, that's really interesting when you say, yeah, that's, creating a shim or creating a bumper is really all anybody needs to do. You're not, if anybody's actually trying to burn the track and make them drier, that's done. But, building a bumper at like 3 board, or like you guys, or like you said with your throwing plastic up 15, that's how it should be done. I'll take a look at this too, but I know this one can look So it's probably going to be that, or I'm not entirely sure. We're going to do a team practice session beforehand, but that's more or less just glorified practice and warming up. Because it's in a different building this year too. Yeah, exactly. Promotion's also shiny right now too, so. trying to need to make sure that I've still kind of got house shot on the brain, and so I'm like running up there and kind of dumping it. Don't really need to do that, so this is a little bit of mental conditioning at the same time. I don't need to chuck it down there. And this is the interesting thing, and it's probably been easier to notice on Angel's side. She had plenty of hook to begin with, but there's so much volume up front that she's already getting some carry down now, and so shots that were finishing earlier are not quite making the corner. And so that's what the problem that people face normally is they get out there and everything's turning sideways because there's plenty of ball motion, like Storm B28 saying. There's plenty of ball motion, but people don't understand the volume thing, and so they start off way too far left to begin with on something that's flat, and they just cliff it worse. They just make it flatter, because all of a sudden they're left, and then now there's oil going down on the back end, and they have nowhere to go because they've burnt their, most of the time, lots of surface have burnt their heads up, and so now they have dry heads and back ends that are, you get the ball right and it's staying there, you get it in, it's turned sideways. Well, I don't know. See, that's the tough thing this year is normally they're tough, and normally there's plenty of volume up front, so you'd want surface, but I'm just not sure with how much softer they are this year. I just don't know.
Doesn't make any sense, I know.
And you can add surface throughout practice, but once practice is over, everything has to go away.
I wasn't going to say that.
So the ProMotion's kind of my urethane adjustment, I guess. If urethane's a little bit too early, too smooth, whatever else, it's basically very urethane-like that pushes a little bit more and has a little bit more shape down lane, but still within the same basic idea. So I know this one looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and put that one away. No, Nationals is playing softer this year because there's only one team per pair instead of two. So there's not going to be as much transition, if any. And so if they start out, usually that's the thing, is the teams that condition them the right way end up scoring. They use practice and part of the first game, depending on how fast they're able to get it done. They use practice and part of the first game to get the lanes set up, and then they'll try to score the back 2 games, back 2.5 games. But this year, with only one team, they're going to transition a lot slower. So if they were as brutal as they'd been in years past, you'd have a lot of lower than usual scores. This whole lock and slow thing is going to be difficult. The lefty trick is just walk urethane down the ditch. If you can throw a decent shot, that'd probably help. No, I'm throwing a fast pitch right now. Alright, there was a decent shot. It didn't hook, but we don't care. The fast pitch has kind of become my super, it's urethane-like, but it's not quite urethane. It doesn't feel like. It's got the general overall motion and shape, but it's not as aggressive as something like a pitch black.
I guess so.
Here's a couple of good shots. So this one shined up, and I kind of like it shiny. So in case there's a little bit of friction on the rail, it works really, really nicely. It kind of splits the gap between my pitch black and my ProMotion. It's not as early and strong as the pitch black, but it's not as boomy down lane of the ProMotion, which nobody has ever accused the ProMotion of being boomy, but it is. It does shave a little bit more. But this is kind of the so yeah, that's what I'm not quite sure of. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm planning on. Is it looks like a lot of people have been getting recovery from the few little videos I've seen. And so if there is just a little bit of friction on the rail, I can just walk the fast pitch in the entire set. I don't know about doubles and singles. I haven't thrown urethane this straight in a while, so I'm trying to get my head back in the right place. Terrible shots. Either grabbing it or shoving it or looks just like I thought it would. We're gonna try the pitch black out.
That means I'm doing something right.
Probably, I mean, it's gonna look great on this. Out there, I don't know. And the interesting thing here is that real See, that's jittering the camera when the ball comes back for some reason. Yeah, see, every time the ball hits it.
I don't know where to put it though.
Well, I think what we did before, stuck it back here, but it expands all the way up to here.
No, it goes to like right here.
I wouldn't wait. It's fine. I wouldn't mess with
Okay.
it. True urethane always takes several shots to kind of quiet the cover down. It hooks off the planet for the first 2 or 3, and then once it gets some oil on the surface, it tames down. Well, the fast pitch doesn't do that. It's, you know, what you get, it's going to be smooth and easy. And then as carry down happens, it's just going to get smoother, but there's not quite the... But once I get a couple shots on this is going to be perfect. But it's the actual pattern. So. Standard, regular, typical Nationals team pattern.
For me?
Just not going to be able to slow down. My head is just convinced that if I put the ball down on the 3 board, it's going to stop and take off. So not only am I not hitting the 3 board, I'm just running right up there. Wildly uncomfortable. That wasn't that good either. Oh, this is so freaking encouraging. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I wouldn't know where that came from. Not even at this.
That was decent. Not entirely sure, Nubs. We don't have a whole lot of big chuggy solids right now. Everything's pretty flippy. Because we discontinued the UFO, so we've got the Rubicon, we've got the Reality from Global, we got the Proton. That's not really big and chuggy, it still shapes a decent amount. Oh no, I'm definitely taking the Pitch Black. Probably not going to need it, but I'm not going to not take it. UC2 is obviously going to be stronger and a whole lot quicker than the IQ, the Emerald. But a big chuggy solid, I wouldn't say that the Phase 2 necessarily chugs. The Axiom really doesn't either, but the Axiom or Phase 2 if you want to go up and stronger, and then the UC2 if you want something flippier.
Or if you're going to take it,
Yeah, now I'm actually throwing decent shots here, so I don't know what that's all about. That. We got her figured out now.
Try to put a little bit more mustard on there.
Yeah, see, the Pitch Black's just a little bit too early. Just a little bit too early. Or if I would just square up and throw a decent, that would help. Pitch purple just isn't good. It's like the fast pitch, but longer, and it tries to flip sometimes, and then other times doesn't move at all. So, no, it's definitely too early. So that's what's part of what's causing my shape issues here, because I feel like I have to chuck it to get it down the lane. It's causing me angle issues. Of course, I'm pretty uncomfortable at the moment too, so I find myself kind of clawing on it a little bit instead of just kind of walking up there and letting it go. But in all fairness, I haven't thrown urethane since September. Looked really good when I threw it in September, but it's been a while, so.
I think I'm just gonna take all 5 of my IQs and just be done.
I wonder if you're that's just crazy.
That one wasn't great. No, what she's talking about is she has several different. She's throwing her IQ Tour Rising right now, and she's got an IQ.
2 are solid.
She's got an IQ Tour Solid, IQ Tour Nano, IQ Emerald, and an IQ Tour Nano Pearl.
The Emerald wouldn't need to go.
Yeah, because the Rising's not quite enough here, so.
Oh yeah, Deja. I don't do different layouts. That's not an option.
That's crazy.
That wasn't great, but stay in the right spot now anyway.
Yeah, Brian, I think James was the first one to attempt that. James and Luke both tried to have a conversation. It didn't work.
Slim Chickens isn't that, but I would choose Arby's over Slim Chickens.
Well, then at least you're a little smart for recognizing that.
All of a sudden, I'm wildly uncomfortable being this close to the ditch.
If any place I would have gone to,
Maybe it's just the fact that I like IQs, but I like this. Maybe it's just the fact that I like IQs, but I like this. Like, I know what it's going to go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep doing this until I can get it down, until I can actually throw a decent shot, because the execution is not. I really don't have execution problems anymore. I have head problems that cause execution problems. And sometimes that's not quite the issue. Sometimes the issue is that I know what I'm trying to do, but I've got to figure out what it's supposed to feel like. And that's sometimes a trick when I'm trying to do something, but because I have the coordination, I just don't know what it's supposed to feel like to get it to do what I want it to do. So sometimes I can go from throwing it perfect to trying to do something I haven't done before, and it's a nightmare. So it's kind of an interesting process.
He has helped our team score every single one they played that they had in the circle. The last game, they just held on at 1-0.
I guess it's really all you have to do. All right.
Technically, but I like to play more.
I would too.
Brazil, poured it on. Poured it on. 4-0.
Oh, it's not necessarily the problem. The problem is that I'm just not throwing it very good. The reaction's fine, I just can't throw it right. Just not having a. I know how to shoot the spares. I'm not worried about that. I'm trying to get this feel down to the first shot. This isn't a. Yeah, it's not the. Yeah, this is a little trickier than I thought it was going to be. I had a tournament in September, long time ago, and I averaged 230 the back 9 games of it. It was on Sunset Strip or something like that.
You did have 3 games that you struggled.
Huh?
You did have the 3 games.
Well, yeah, I know, but I know why I struggled.
Yes.
Because it
You
was
just haven't done it since.
Well, yeah, but I know what I should be doing and I can't do it now. Yeah, so I averaged 230 the back 9 of that tournament. There was 6 games one day and 6 games the other day, and then I haven't used urethane since. I've played maybe not quite this straight, but pretty close to this straight with reactive stuff, but not urethane. Trying to get the feel down, to walk slow and let go of the ball, but still catch it with my fingers. I've been shoving it, I've been tugging it, I've been pushing it, I've been throwing it too slow, throwing it too fast, throwing it with my whole hand, dumping it, everything else but throwing a good shot. Now my heads are kind of messed up, so I just use my ProMotion. Just been using my ProMotion for spares. I might shoot some spares later if I ever get this first ball thing figured out, but I'm 3 games of clueless. Can't get the feel right. No, I'm definitely using the wrong ball right now. I'm trying to get comfortable with executing when I'm not comfortable. Basically, I just want to be able to execute or throw the ball where I want to throw it without my head saying, okay, this is wrong, whatever else.
I didn't get that. 'Cause I had the 1-2.
I want to be able to just get up there and make the shot and not worry about, because I'm not even worried about what the pins are doing right now, but my head still is focused on knocking the pins down, and so I'm trying to disconnect.
You'll get this all figured out, and then Thursday will be a nightmare. Brian, stay on call.
That was halfway decent, but I need to be able to do that more often. I need to be able to just get up there and make the shot and just take what happens and make the adjustments off of that instead of trying to force the ball to strike.
Yeah, Igor, if you've ever watched any of the drilling streams, he's a slight perfectionist. No, it's got nothing to do with the feel. The ball feels perfect. My head's ridiculously uncomfortable with what I'm trying to do, so. The feeling part is like the swing and the letting go, not the actual drilling.
Anybody's gonna get it.
If you're talking layout rather than actual like fit, then no. I mean, I'm not trying to. If I was trying to score right now or actually throw the right ball or whatever else, yeah, I'd be just fine. But I'm trying to make myself learn something here. I can't get the ball off my hand, or it's just everything's coming off at the same time.
Oh, my old brain begins.
That was halfway decent.
Anybody who gets an RBI from second, honestly, they get a clear on the second home run back in 10 days.
That actually wasn't too bad either.
I wish I could do that more often. I'm still making that face like,
Yeah, I think if she subbed in, she'd do pretty good.
Probably be a whole lot better with more than 3 hours of sleep.
And truth be told, I've never been comfortable with the pitch black, so I think that might be some of it too.
I think it'd be better if you just took the fast pitch and been done. But if you're not comfortable, is that going to really be worth it?
I'm not comfortable because it's too early, but when there's actually oil up there, it's a
Oh,
different story.
all right.
Part of it, I've been closing my shoulders too much and trying to shove the ball instead of still staying open and just Thrown it better the
Spins
last.
around like 3 times.
Thrown it halfway decent the last several. That was pretty decent. So I got the shoulder thing figured out. Now I'm looking in the wrong place, and I just need to figure out where I need to look to get it to go where I want it to go. And it's kind of a hard concept to explain. It's kind of called shim to win, or the fallback shot, or something like that, where you kind of let the ball walk or fade itself out to the spot instead of trying to get it out quick and make a big back end motion. You basically want the ball going right most of the way down the lane.
What the hell happened there? I don't know if anybody would be able to do that again.
That was a classic case of paying attention to everything but keeping my feet slow.
So you got the hard one?
Yeah. You like here? Hey.
Well, now my heads are chewed up, so that's not going to help, but it's going to make me let go of the ball, hopefully. I just keep shoving it. And even when I'm staying inside of it, I'm tugging it after staying inside of it. Just hoping. I don't know why it's taken so long for something to click. Normally something will click and then I'll be able to repeat it, but I just haven't found the right combination of stuff yet. I mean, this is just impressively bad. Oh, it's way too early. I've never been comfortable on the right side, left side, whatever else with reaction this early. I like to kind of roll the ball, not chuck it, and this has got me so turned upside down and backwards.
Oh, okay.
I'm just ridiculously uncomfortable with this ball. Never ever. I've never liked this ball, period. Just the general urethane idea doesn't work for me, or at least not this kind of urethane. No, I'm just really, really bad.
Whenever he gets the ball, they triple.
And it is difficult. This is the 2019 Nationals team pattern. I could be scoring right now if I wanted to, but I need to work on some stuff, obviously.
He's already done the fast pitch. The pitch black is kind of like the last puzzle to figure out, and he's going to keep doing it until he figures it out.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm trying to do, but physically do it. And it's really hard for anybody to execute when they're not comfortable. I mean, you've seen the pros do the same thing if their reaction's touchy or whatever else. But I'm way, way, way far off. I haven't actually thrown a shot this whole time that I've liked. I've thrown a few that were close or halfway decent, workable, but nothing to really say was any good. No, this was the 2019. Well, it was the Vegas pattern last time we were in Vegas. This was the team pattern in 2019.
Daniel, there was a end standing up. There's another like this.
Those last two were closer. You can expect it to be tough, but this isn't going to be a typical Nationals year. So while it's going to be a lot tougher than what you're used to, it's not going to be super tough as far as actually considered tough for what the standard normally is. This is normally the standard, but
Honestly, I could leave at 7. Get there by like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Now when you're trying to get there, it's in the afternoon, dinner time.
Well, afternoon-ish. I always like to try to get there at a decent time.
the last few have been closer, but I don't know why it's so difficult to get me to slow down here a little bit. I still got the house shot mentality in my head of I can't throw it at the 3 board or it's going to stop and dig in and springboard.
No, I meant getting there. I'd be like, man, I gotta do this.
Even that one wasn't that great. I mean, it kind of all happened in the right way, but I shoved it. I'm not really throwing decent shots.
Well, no, I'm off that Monday. Tuesday. Yep. All right, man. Have fun.
Now we're figuring it out a little bit.
I will.
Now something kind of finally started I've just had so much trouble slowing down. I've been worried about, you know, there's no bumper here, but I've still got the house shot mentality in my head of if I put it out there, it's going to hook. And had all the best intentions until I go through the ball. So now let's see, now that I've got the idea here. Alright, well at least that was a good shot, so. I mean, that's a marketing thing. I shot 1020 with it for 4 last night, so it reacts great, but there's no such thing as a ball that hits more, a ball that, you know, whatever else, because if they could build more hit into bowling balls, why wouldn't they build them all to hit as hard as possible? Now it does have a pretty good back end motion, so that's going to make the pins jump a little bit more, I suppose. Make them look a little bit flashier, but it's really all about knocking them down. Alright, so after taking an entire solid hour to slow down, alright, at least I got that finally figured out. Holy crap. Now at least I can throw it where I'm trying to throw it. I don't know why it took me so long to slow everything down. Alright, I might throw some different stuff now that I got that figured out. An hour later. And now I'm actually playing what I'm trying to play. Kind of crispied up the track somehow, even though I've been throwing a different shot every time. So let's play around with some other stuff here. But I finally figured it out, so. All right, now I'll take requests. What's up, Tamale? Sweet. All right, so the other stuff I brought. Oh, well, the Tank Blitz is pretty good. Try not to pay too much attention to score. I'm practicing right now, and I'm not paying any attention to the score whatsoever. I'm trying to make good shots, make accurate shots, learn about some ball motion stuff, and just stick to the fundamentals right now and kind of get comfortable throwing the ball and, get some good control on it first. All right, so I've been throwing the pitch black here for a while. I brought the fast pitch, Pro Motion, Idle Pro, Zero Gravity, Phase G, and Phase 3. I'm gonna grab while I'm getting requests here, I'm gonna grab the fast pitch and try to do the same thing I was doing with the pitch black and see what we're doing here. See ya now that that's okay. So, now that I've destroyed my track with the pitch black, the fast pitch should look pretty good. Okay. Yeah, the Pro Motion's a total cheat code. The urethane might have destroyed the lane here, but yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll get that out. Second to get lined up here.
I think I work there. I think I'm supposed to be there. I think I work there.
Yeah, crap load of carry down now from all that urethane, but we'll get it lined up. But this is the good thing about urethane. Plenty of hold.
Now it's time for your zero gravity.
Back to the stupid. That wasn't great, but it was close. Once again, I have the Idle Pro Zero Gravity Phase 3 and Phase G hanging out. Anybody wants to see any of those?
Wife says zero gravity.
Throw a couple more with ProMotion. The other thing I need to get better at is making adjustments on the fly. Need to get better with making a ball change and whatever else and executing the shot instead of kind of floundering through 3 or 4 shots until I get the feel right. Usually what I do is kind of just flounder through stuff. And I think I'm going to move to this other lane too, because this one's got a bunch of urethane carry down on it, and I can kind of show you guys too what. So on this lane right now, probably the better choice would be the zero. Well, no, probably the Idle would probably be the best choice now. On this lane, well, that other lane that hasn't had any lefty traffic yet, or any kind of any traffic. And this is one of the most important things when we're talking about, you know, people always, oh, urethane screws the lanes up, urethane sucks, whatever else. Never, ever, 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 ever try to cut through carry down because it's impossible. Just use it as hold. pretty good shot there. All right, well, I'll see what the P3 looks like on this lane, and then we'll play around a little bit.
Aw.
What? Well, I've got an opportunity to show carry down versus no carry down.
Okay.
My Phase 3's got a 4-inch pin on it, so it's a pretty strong layout. So it's not as boomy as a typical Phase 3 would be. I've kind of blended that out a little bit. Right now, what I'm looking at taking, I'm taking 9. We're driving, and so I'm probably going to take 6 into team and 6 into singles and doubles, but I'm going to switch 3 of them out. So that's another. I can't call it a pro tip since I'm not a pro, but it's a tip that you don't have to take. You don't have to take. I mean, you can take 8 balls into team and 8 balls into singles and doubles, but they don't have to be the same 8. You can take 8 into team and a completely different 8 into singles and doubles. Now, most people fly, and so you're not going to be taking. Most people try to make it work with 6. But I'm taking the fast pitch, pitch black, ProMotion, IQ Tornado Pearl, RSTX1, Zero Gravity, Idle Pro, Idle, and what is that? Probably the Proton Physics is going to be number 9. Not sure if my math is right on counting that, but that's what I'm looking at taking right now anyway. So the RST and the IQ Tornado Pearl are absolute locks, so I didn't even bring them tonight. And I hadn't, again, I brought the urethane because I hadn't used urethane for, since September, so I wanted to get the feel back with that. The Idle Pro and the Idle are going, and I haven't thrown the Zero Gravity in a while, so. Now this is going to be a whole lot easier to do with this ball and with any of the reactive stuff because I'm used to standing deeper and giving it some room. And now that I've got all this urethane carry down, I have plenty of hold for stuff like this. So I can go ahead and throw it, roll it, and execute it. I've been slow rolling it with all the other stuff now, so got to get this feel back here. Another thing too is I have no clue what this ball is going to do on this condition on a bunch of urethane carry down. So part of it's not necessarily getting comfortable, it's just learning. This one I've been using to control dry down lane more than cut through it. Still kind of it's a sharp cover, it's a strong ball, it's a strong cover too, just besides being sharp. But like I said, with this 4-inch pin on it, it's pretty early, it flares a bunch, it's pretty rolly, and so it still gives me pop without giving me something as crazy as like the UC pin. So you can see it gives me a nice look. It's still plenty of boom, plenty of back end that I can count on the ball coming back, but it's a little rollier. So I like this one quite a bit. I haven't thrown it a whole lot because, again, it's a little bit more of a specific use ball. Yeah, the middle part of the lane's crazy dry. That's why it's a little bit more special use case, because I'm bending it. It's not really drilled to bend. It's drilled to kind of stay with it free.
Do you think if it
Drilling something strong means it's going to be earlier and smoother, not more back end. So staying a little bit more on top of it and not giving it Well, I'm just kind of playing around and showing a few different things. This is the 2019 Nationals team pattern. So I'm kind of trying to illustrate something here. Yes, more continuous, but when you get more continuous, especially stronger pins and stuff, it's going to flare more. It's going to be more continuous, but it's going to flare more, it's going to hook more, it's going to hook earlier. So it's going to be really fairly continuous, but it's not going to be quite as flippy down lane because the extra flare is helping it hook more, and hooking more means hooking earlier. Alright, I'm going to get the zero gravity out now. That phase 3 might actually... No, actually, the plastic ball, I drill it so that when I driller the just Team Storm balls or whatever, I drill those so that the bolt spins all the way down the lane, and then the Belmo ball I just drilled for has Belmo spinning all the way down the lane.
I like that one.
Zero gravity is very, very different, but pretty freaking cool. It's like a smoother, weaker phase 2, kind of.
Is that one going?
Yeah, this one. That's
Okay,
what I
good.
drilled this for Swiss Trios.
Oh, I thought that was the phase 0 that you drove for Swiss.
Piece of tape. But the zero gravity came out in 2013 or 2014, I think. No, the phase 3 looks better than I thought it would on the team pattern anyway, and I'm not entirely sure if it's going or not.
Might be one of those on the bubble.
Yeah,
See what other ones are locked in first.
yeah. So this one's got ERG solid on it. Remember the Storm Bite had ERG Pearl. ERG is pretty similar to Rotogrip's E-Trax. And this is a pretty odd asymmetric core. I think it's something like a 255 RG, 035 differential, and like an 013 intermediate differential. So it's kind of honey badger-ish, but it's got like a Torrent or Rocket type MVP type RG with a pretty close to Electrify IQ differential, and then a medium intermediate differential like some of the new stuff like the Rubicons and the Insight. It's solid, but it's got a fairly clean cover on it, so it's going to be a little bit more responsive than something like a phase 2. It's got kind of a weak core, but it is asymmetric, so that gives it a little bit more torque down lane while not being terribly early. So the idea was to take it for team, but it actually might work out doubles and singles. No, Belmo's spare ball. Unless that was a joke.
I think it's a joke. Because Deja was the one trying to.
Yeah.
Said the put different layouts on the IQs. Yeah, not happening.
Now, see, this is something, I haven't thrown this zero gravity a whole lot. So I've had some balls that have gone through the nose, I've had some flat hits, some whatever else. A lot of people would look at this and say, oh, well, this ball just sucks. And I need to test it out to figure out what it does. Whether it likes getting deeper, whether it likes more revs, less revs, higher speed, lower speed, straighter angles, deeper angles.
And once you figure out what the ball wants, then you can decide whether you like it or not. Oh.
So yeah, that's a pretty good way of what you need to do is you need to move around until you figure out what the ball wants to do. And if what the ball naturally wants to do doesn't really fit your game, then it's just not going to be a match. There's no such thing as a bad ball. They design balls for specific things, and you need to fish around. There a lot of people say, "Oh, this ball was terrible." It's like, no, the ball was probably pretty good. It's just what it needed didn't fit your game, or what it doesn't fit your game.
Well, it's like the Sonic and the Supersonic. It wasn't really popular, but there were quite a few that when it fit. Because you're not going to dare tell Duke that the Sonic or the Supersonic are bad. No, it's just...
So this is a kind of a phase 2 type shape. Very archy, very continuous. But it's cleaner cover, weaker core, but asymmetric instead of symmetric. Mildly asymmetric. That was just a terrible shot.
Oh yes, Deja, I am well aware.
But yeah, it looks pretty good.
Get it.
Yeah, I did it a couple times. I think you got to push the button further to this side.
Yeah.
Like a phase 2 type ID, I can do a lot of different things with it. I can get it to boom, or I can get it to be smooth, It does want a hook and it does want a shape, so it's something I'm going to need to probably not play so straight with it. Play straighter with it.
We're going on 2 hours here, so we probably ought to wrap it up here. I'm gonna move the camera
So
so
you're
I
moving.
can see. Get a little bit different view here.
Got a bunch of urethane carry down on lane 2, so I'm going to hop over to lane 1 and throw this ProMotion. So zero gravity looks pretty good. That's definitely going to go to nationals. I don't know
Alright.
when I'm going to throw it, but the, see what ProMotion looks like on a dead fresh lane.
There we go. Slide this over just a little more.
One over. Now, without the urethane carry down, there's more boom over here, so I'm getting a whole lot more shape. Not that much shape. That one I just threw way better than I expected to. If I have anything remotely close to that at nationals. Really doesn't look that different. I could slow down and throw a good shot, that would help.
There it goes. Okay, phone freaked out for a second.
Alright, let me... look at this phase again.
Phase 3.
Alright, that one's definitely sharper over here on this lane. So yeah, this one might actually make the trip. Because if it looks this good on this here, which normally is pretty close to actual nationals, the shot's gonna be easier. So if it looks this good now, and I'm more comfortable with this. I'm more comfortable with stuff that naturally shapes more. The smooth stuff, I feel like I have to help, so I tend to grab a little bit. That was just a bad shot.
Today, friends, we're going to learn what not to do.
More sharper stuff just feels more comfortable. Double and single ball, if anything, but yeah, that's how flat they are. I've actually gotten the ball out where I've intended to get it out to.
I think this is going to end up being that last ball in the bubble.
Oh, the dark code was the other one that I was taking.
Are we going to do this again next week and do the doubles and singles pattern?
Probably. Good. All right, I'm going to try the grip here real quick.
Phase grip. Now, this is one that was only overseas, right?
Yeah, this is overseas. This is AX16 hybrid. It's got the same. It's got the cover from the original phase, but in hybrid form.
It's got a little bite to it.
Yeah. Drilled a little bit different than the phase 3. Oh my god. This is what it looks like when you're throwing stuff on a condition that it's not meant for. I know I have to get it outside to get it down the lane, and I know it's going to be sharp because it's shiny. See, yeah, that one's definitely not making the trip. I need something. Oh, your batteries. Oh, that brings in screen. Gotcha.
I don't have any of my batteries, so we're gonna have to move along.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Just wanted to take a look at your stuff, and I haven't.
that's fine. We can still shut the stream off. So just go ahead and end the
That
stream.
one? Oh, not yet.
Oh, okay.
This one's either going to need, turn the idle now, this one's either going to need more surface or just not the team pattern. Yeah, this is probably going to be too much, just too much period for team. So yeah, this one's just too much ball, period. This will be a double and single only pass or only ball.
I have to remember that for next week when you come back.
Now I'm going to look at the Idle Pro. This one could be interesting because it shapes more than the Idle, but it's also a weaker cover too, so it's not going to be as early. It's not going to be quite as early, not going to be as strong. That one's just too much shape. Yeah, that's a product of your head telling you this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work, this isn't going to work. So if I get us there and actually execute a decent shot, it's not going to look a whole lot different. It's just going to look like a better shot, but still hook way too much. Definitely not the beer. So, Idle Pro is going to be a double and single ball too, if anything. Let's try the urethane trick one more time here.
Fast pitch.
That's just a product of being deep and playing angle and trying to go right to throwing it straight. This probably just isn't going to happen at all, period, without some kind of surface on it. And I kind of like it where it's at, because a lot of people have said that there is some friction on the ditch, and if there is, it might be the perfect walk-in. Don't even have to worry about it fall. So at least on this condition, it's looking like the pitch black is probably going to be the winner here. I'm sure if I moved around a little bit more with the Pro Motion, it didn't swing it so much. Didn't throw this one like an idiot and flap my wrist all over the place.
It's gonna kill it. We need to show it straight.
Alright. I think we're going to call it a night. The phone battery is almost dead here on the stream. Thanks everybody for hanging out for as long as you did to watch me throw it terrible, and watch Angel throw it pretty good. But I'm going to practice here for a few more minutes, but we're going to go ahead and shut it off tonight. We'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel with the doubles and singles pattern from 2019. So thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll see